All right, so this is a demonstration on how to use Google Sites to make a website. And in particular, I'm going to show you how to make a food blog because that is the assignment that I have given you. So here we are in Google, and just like with any other Google application, we can navigate to that application by clicking on this waffle here. So I'm going to click on the waffle, and I'm going to look for Sites. And it's right here. This is Google Sites. So I'll click here. This will take me to Google Sites. And just like Google Docs and Google Slides, I can see at the top, these are some templates. So if I know what kind of website I want to make, I can use maybe any of the templates in the template gallery. And if I click here, I will see more. But for this website, we want to actually create it from scratch. So if you click on blank on the left side, we can start a new website from scratch. Okay, so this is just the starting place for your website. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to put your first and last name up here. Now, if you're making a website for your own personal use, then you can just put the name of the website up here, or if you have a logo for your business or something, you can put your logo here. But for this assignment, I want you to create your website using your first and last name in the corner here. So I'm just going to put my first and last name up here. And this is our website. It has only one page. This is the only page. So this is going to be the front page. Now, in order to show you how to build this website, I'm also going to be referring to a website that I have created as a demonstration so that you can see what it looks like from the finished product, and then you can watch me build it. So I'm going to just pop over to that now and show you. This is the demonstration website. So just to remind you, I've already explained this, but the food blog that you create should have 3 pages. So up at the top right corner, you see there's the home page. And because it's highlighted, you can tell that's the page we're on now. Then when you click About Me, it's highlighted, so you can see that's the page we're on now. And it has a title up here and a banner with a photo. And then there's a photo of me with a caption. This is me cuddling with my cat Fonzie, who you have seen many times in my teaching videos. And there's just a little paragraph about me and my relationship to food. Something about my history with food, and a little bit of information about me, personal information. So this gives you information about who made the blog. And then on the recipe page, the final page, again, you see a banner at the top that tells you this is the recipe page with a photo in the background. And there's a title here. Okay, so you need a title that will tell you about the recipe. So it says, My Grandma's Famous Bean Brownies. And then there's a picture of my grandma. And just for the sake of this blog, I have not used a real photo of my grandmother because I want to share this, and I want to share this on YouTube, and I don't want to. I don't have a picture of her actually, so I don't want to, put no picture. So I used a different picture. And there's a caption here. And then here I gave you a really nice description of my experience with my grandma making this food, okay? So the very beginning of this little 500-word food memory has a hook, and this is the hook, the first sentence. Growing up in the countryside, I didn't ever get to go to fancy restaurants for cheesecake or chocolate mousse. That's the first sentence of my introduction. So I'm just going to read this food memory to you so you have an understanding of what a 500-word food memory might sound like, especially a food memory that's connected to a person. In fact, the only experience I had with eating out was visiting Dairy Queen on the odd hot summer day. Sometimes my mother would take us kids there after grocery shopping, and we would select hot fudge sundaes or chocolate dipped cones to satisfy our sweet teeth. I loved dessert. I know this isn't groundbreaking for a kid, but I can't emphasize enough how exciting those trips for ice cream were to me. Sugar and chocolate ruled my world back then. To a certain extent, they still do. But ice cream was never my favorite dessert. Not even close. No, the dessert I longed for the most was one that I rarely got to eat. It was only once a year when we made the long trip south to Florida for Christmas to stay with my grandma May that I was lucky enough to indulge in my in my favorite dessert on earth, her chocolate chickpea brownies. I know, it sounds gross, right? Guess again. These things check off all the brownie boxes. They're moist, silky, sticky, sweet, and chewy, and bursting with velvety melted chocolate chips. There is nothing better. I have fond memories of Grandma May in her little Florida kitchen, making these brownies for my brothers and me. My brothers were never around while she baked. They preferred to roughhouse outside and weren't interested in how food was made, just in eating it. At first, I only hung out in the kitchen because I wanted to make sure I got a brownie before my brothers gobbled them all up. But very soon it became a ritual for Grandma May and me. She measured out the ingredients while I watched, mesmerized, listening to her tell me stories of her childhood and the treats her mother used to bake for her. I observed closely as she combined the ingredients, cracking the eggs expertly without letting any loose pieces of shell slide into the mix. When it was time to open up that can of chickpeas and drain it in the sink, I always wrinkled up my nose at the smell, amazed that those little round beige beans would soon find their way into my tummy via my favorite dessert. Grandma May was like her brownies, sweet, soft, and lovely to look at. She would always wipe her hands, dusty with white flour, on the back of her skirt instead of the checkered red apron she wore. She smiled the brightest smile and pronounced, "Here we go," whenever it was time to take those molten sweets out of the hot oven and cut them into squares. One by one, she lifted the brownies up with a spatula and placed them on a cooling rack where they would stay for at least 10 minutes before she called my brothers in to snatch at them with grubby fingers. But in the meantime, she would choose the biggest piece, place it on the counter between us, and gingerly tear it in half with her delicate fingers, handing one half to me and winking. I remember the melted chocolate pressed against the roof of my mouth and the sweet, toasty smell of those brownies lingering in the air as Grandma May and I shared the first perfect morsel from the batch. It was our little ritual, and I loved every bite. So you can see here that I'm writing about a memory that is meaningful to me because it is tied to a person who provided me with some kind of food that I loved to eat. So this can be really any kind of food and any kind of person, as long as it means something to you, if it has a positive, strong memory in your life. So at the bottom of the page here, of course, you have the recipe. And the way I've designed mine is on the left-hand side, I have a photograph of chickpeas, which is one of the ingredients. And then I have the list of ingredients below. And on the right-hand side, I have a photo that I actually took when I made this recipe at home. This is my photograph, but you can use a photo from the internet if you don't have one. And then the directions about how to create these brownies using the ingredients on the left-hand side, okay? Now, this is a recipe that's pretty available online. So I wrote at the bottom, recipe adapted from, and then I wrote the website. That's something that you can do as well if you take a recipe from a website, just to give credit to it. But I will show you how to do that. So that's the whole thing. So let's go back to the beginning, and I'm going to start from the beginning to show you how I did this. And again, this is not going to take very long, believe it or not. So we're going to come back here to where we started. Right now, all we've done is write the name in the top left corner, but I know that this first page is going to be the name of my blog. So I'm going to call it Time for Dinner. Or actually, let's call it Dinner at Laura's House, because I want my name somewhere in the title of my blog. I think it's more interesting. Dinner at Laura's House is going to be the name of my website, okay? So your name up here and the name of your website here, Dinner at Laura's House. Now, I need this, because it's the first page, I need this image in the background to first have something to do with food. And secondly, I need it to take up the whole page. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the header type. Right here it says header type. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click cover, because everything inside this square is what will take up the whole page of the website. So this is when someone visits the website, this will be the whole page that they see, okay? So that's what it's going to look like, but now I need a photo in the background. So in order to do that, I have to click on Change Image. And you have two choices. If you have a photograph on your device that you have taken, your own photo, and you want to use that, it has to be a photo that has to do with food. Then you can click Upload, and it will take you to your file system on your computer, and you can choose wherever the photo is. You can choose that folder and pick the photo, and you can place it here. Or you can click on Select Image, which is what I did, and then click Search. And now we can search in Google Images. So I'm actually just going to search for, I'm just going to search for the word cooking, but you can look for any word you like that has to do with food. And then I can see all these pictures of people cooking. Now, I don't want a picture of someone else on my food blog, because that won't make any sense at all. But I do want a picture of food and something, you know, something to do with cooking. So I'm just looking for a photo that looks nice. These are very small, but you know, it'll be easier for you to see when you're doing it yourself. I like this one. So then I click on the photo I want and click Select. There we go. Now, I'm not sure if I like the theme. The theme is the design. So if you don't like the theme, what you can do is you can click on Themes over here on the right-hand side. And right now I'm on the simple theme, but I can take a look at what these other themes will look like by clicking on them. And you can see that this changed when I clicked on Aristotle. There are also color changes that I can make. And for this design, it seems to only be changing the color of this underline here. I can also click on something like this, right? And if I click these colors, it will just put like a filter over top, because that's the design of this website, or sorry, of this theme. I can choose this one. I can choose this one. Choose something that makes it very easy to read. Okay, that's your number one goal, is to make it easy to read. So I think I'm going to choose this one, but I want to make it even easier to read. So if I click this button down here, oh, actually, this button makes it easier to read. I think I'm going to pick this, but I'm going to add a filter so it makes it a little easier. So there we go. Okay, so that's my theme. Now, of course, you can change yours to be whatever you want. I can actually grab this text and I can change the color of it if I want to. Let's say I want to make it pink. You can make it any color you like. Okay, so you can always change the color of text on your website to be whatever you want. And in fact, I'm going to just remove this. Oh, that's not easy to read. What color can I make this? Maybe yellow? I don't know. You'll have to play with it. If you're not happy with how it looks, if you can't read it, you can always change the photo. Changing the photo might help. I think it might be the dishes in the background that makes it difficult. So I'm going to change the image. You really want it to be easy to read. That's the main point. So I'm going to go to search again. I'm going to type in cooking again. And I'm going to choose, this one. Now this is a lighter image, so I'm going to change the text to a darker text because that will create a contrast and it will be easier to read. There we go. Okay, so this is the front page of my my blog. I'm happy with that. If I don't like this light filter in the background, I can click this button that says remove readability, and it will make the photo brighter. But as you can see, it's more difficult to read the text. So this button here, adjust readability, that makes it easier to read. So we're done the first page. Now we need to add more pages to the blog. First, we have to add an About Me page. So I'm going to click over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to click the word Pages. And at the bottom, we can see right now that we only have one page, and it's the home page. Right now, I'm going to click Add, New Page. And we want to call it About Me. Done. So now we can see under Pages that we have 2 pages. And it's taken us directly to the About Me page. And just as a default, it has created the exact same image using the exact same theme and the same text color and everything. So we can start here and edit as we go. So again, if I click the home page at the top, you can see this is the first page, and then the second page is About Me. Now I need to change this because I don't want them all to be the same. And on the second page, I just want a banner. I don't want a cover photo. So first I'm going to go to Change Image, Header Type, and Banner. There, that's better. So the banner at the top just tells us what the page is called, but when someone visits this web page, it will be obvious to them that there's something else on the page. When they visit this page, this photo will take up the entire web page, so they'll see that there's nothing else on the first page. This white area down here, they're not going to see that on the web page. This is just for you to edit, but you'll see in a minute how it looks when someone visits it. All right, so now we're on About Me. I want to change the image in the background because I want to have a nice different image on each page. So I'm going to click Select Image, Search, and I think this time I'm going to search for the word stove. Stove is another word that has to do with cooking. Maybe I can find a good photograph here. Maybe a photo like this of something cooking on the stove. Good. About Me. So now I have a pot on the stove. Again, it shows that this blog is all about cooking, but this page is going to be about me. So go back on the right-hand side and click Insert. That will give you all of the editing tools you need to add things to your web page. What I suggest you do is click one of these layout styles, okay? So the layout style that I use for my blog here, if we look on the About Me page, is I have a photo on the left with a caption, and then I have my information on the right-hand side. And actually, just realized that I don't know if I have a photo of myself right now to show you, but I'm going to see if I do. So when you're here on the Insert menu, you'll just click, if you like the one I used with a photo and text, which is probably the best one to use, you can click this first layout here, and it will create what's called a section. So everything within this blue box is the first section of this page. And it includes a place to put a photo and a place to add text. Now, if you would rather have the photo on the right, you can very easily just click on this box for the photo and drag it over here until it's on the right side of the text. And you can rearrange the layout that way. So I'm going to add a photo of myself. I'm going to click Add. Now, of course, unless you're famous, there won't be a photo of you online. So you have to click upload. And then you probably can't see this, but my desktop, or sorry, my file folder is opening. I just want to see if I have a photo of myself here. I might. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, everybody, I didn't have this. I forgot to get a photo ready to show you. I'm not finding one. Oh, no. Okay, I can't find one right now, so it's not a problem. Just make sure you have a photo of yourself there that you can add. And the photo will go right here, okay? So all you'll do is you'll click this and then you'll add a photo that's on your computer. Over here, you want to click to add a title. So the title is going to be, I love cooking. Now, you can write anything you want here, but you just want a little title for your page about me. And then here, where it says edit text, you'll click here and you'll add the text. Hi, my name is Laura, and I want to welcome you, whoops, to my blog. You can write anything you want here, but the whole purpose is to write 1 or 2 paragraphs about yourself. Now, I've spelled this word wrong, and Google's telling me so by writing a red underline, so I'm going to edit this. So as you go, you can edit. You only want to write about 100 words, and it sounds like 100 words is a lot, but it's really, really not. And I can show you that by sharing this with you and showing you again that this is about 100 words, okay? So what you can do here is, if you like, you can actually open up a Google Doc, right? Like I have this Google Doc here, and I wrote all of my bio in here first so that I could check the word count. So again, I can just go, tools. And then if I click on word count and I say display word count, I can see that it's 137 words down here in the corner. It tells me how many words it is. So I'm even over 100 words. That's fine. So now I can click on tools, spelling and grammar, and spelling and grammar check. And it says document looks good. There are no errors that Google can find. And then I'm happy. So I can grab this, all of this, and I can click Command C to copy it. And then I can go back to my website here, and I can actually just, I'm going to delete this, okay? I can just click right in here and click Command V, which will paste what I wrote on Google Docs and paste it right into my website. Now with this photo, I can, when I have the photo in there, I can also grab a corner of this photo and I can drag it and make it a little bit bigger if I want to, right? So I can make my photo bigger so that it sort of matches with the text if I want. I can pull it all the way down here, and then it'll look a little bit better on the website. So that's how you create the second page. Look at that. We're already 2/3 of the way through this blog. So it's just a little bit of information about me with some information about cooking. And then there's going to be a picture of me right here, which I don't have a picture of myself right now on my computer. I suggest if you want to add a picture of yourself and you only have a picture of yourself on your phone, then you can just email the photo to yourself and then open up your email on your computer and download the photo to your device. And then it'll go in your downloads folder, or it will go on your your desktop or wherever your downloads go, when you click here and you click upload, it's going to show you your file system and you can find your photo that you took out of your email. Okay, so that's how you can get a photo very quickly from your phone to your computer. So make sure you put your photo here. Then we need one more page, the most important page, which is the final page for recipes. So again, we have to add a page. So go to Pages. At the bottom, there's a plus sign, New Page, and then type recipes, okay? So this is going to be the page where I add my recipes. And for this assignment, you only need to add one recipe. Now, again, I want to change the background photo just for variety. I'm going to change it. I'm going to select an image from the internet. Search. And I'm going to search for the word, what should I search for this time? Spices. Let's search for spices. Because we use spices when we cook, right? Oh, look at all these amazing photos of spices. Wow, beautiful. I think I like this one. Yeah, good. Excellent. So it's very easy to read. So this readability filter is on, so it automatically goes on the photo to make it easier to read. It has the word recipes. It's a banner again. So if I look at the About Me page, you can see that the title, the banner is the same size as the recipes page. That's the way it should be. And now I need to add the content for this page. So I need to add something down here. So I need to click on the Insert menu on the right again. And if we look at the example website, here we are, and we click on the recipes page, we can see that there are a couple of ways to do this, okay? So what I've done is I've created one section here that has a photo and the title of this recipe. And then there's another section here, a separate section that is my food memory. So I've copied and pasted it right here. Then at the bottom, there's another section, which is the recipe. And this is how I suggest you do it. So each of these sections is a different layout. The one at the top has a photo on the right and the title on the left. The one in the middle just has a subtitle, or you can call this your hook. This is your first sentence, so it should be a hook. And then the typing, the text. And then at the bottom, there are two sections of photos with text underneath. All right, so let's try and create that here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to add something at the top. And again, I suggest you choose this layout. So I'm not going to use where it says click to edit text. I'm not going to add text. I'm only going to add a title here, okay? So I'm going to call this, let's use the example I was talking about before, My Dad's Famous, or it doesn't have to be famous, My Dad's Yummy Fried Chicken, let's say. Let's say it's a fried chicken recipe. Okay, now I can also choose to center this title so it looks better. There we go. And I'm going to put the word fried chicken on, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it like this. That looks better. I can actually push this box over if I want to. And then I can move it. Whoops. I can drag it over here. I can put it wherever I want. I think I'm going to leave it right here. And then here, what's really important is you need a photo of the person that inspired this food memory or a place. So it should be a photo of your family home, or a photo of your kitchen, or a photo of your dad, or a photo of a childhood memory of eating with your dad, or the dish itself, the food itself, something like that. But probably the best choice for you to make here is a photo of the person or a photo of a place, the place where this all happened, okay? So again, I don't have a personal photo that I can add here of my dad or of my home where I grew up. I don't have that available. So what I can do is I can go on Google and I can just search for under select image, I can click on Google Images and I can search for the place where I grew up. And I grew up in a place called Utopia, which is in the country. Believe it or not, it's actually called Utopia. So here are some pictures that look very much like the place where I grew up. Some of them aren't, but some of them I recognize as being probably from around my parents' home. Here's one that's very typical. Okay. Now, this is not the greatest photo, but it is a real photo of the place where I grew up. So it's going to be just fine. And all I did there was I added the photo and then I dragged it to make it a little bigger. Now, you must add a caption to explain this photo. So when you click on the photo, you'll see these 3 dots. And then just click Add Caption. Okay? And I'm going to write down, I grew up in the countryside in Utopia, Ontario. All right, so now we can see that the photo is going to have a caption that explains what it is. If I want to, I can highlight that and I can move it into the center of the photo, which looks better in my opinion. And that's all done, okay? You don't have to worry about this where it says click to edit text because that's not going to be viewable on the website. All right, now I need my second section. And of course, the second section is the text where I created the food memory. So to do this, I suggest you make a placeholder because what I think you should do is you should write your food memory in Google Docs. So what I've done for you is I have created a second post under assignments in Google Classroom. So if we go back to Google Classroom, you're going to see under classwork that there's also something here called My Food Memory under assignments, but you do not have to hand this in. I'm not marking this. This is just to help you. It says this assignment will not be graded and does not need to be turned in. I have created it as a place for you to write your food memory for your food blog assignment. Follow the instructions in the document and write approximately 500 words and check your writing for errors. Use spell check. When you have finished, copy your text using Control-C and paste it into your food blog website on the recipes page as shown in the demo video. So you'll click here. Everyone gets their own copy, so you can type into it. And it says, think back to your past, perhaps even to your childhood, until you find a memory of a plate of food that is tied to a vivid, positive memory in your life. It should be something that tasted delicious and was cooked or served to you by someone you love. If this memory of food has made a significant positive impression on you, then when you eat or even think of this food now, it should bring thoughts and emotions about that person and that time to your mind. This will likely be an important food for you for the rest of your life. Write about this memory, describing the food using sensory detail. What did it smell, look, sound, feel, and taste like? And the person this food is connected to in your mind. When was it? How old were you? Where were you? Who was this person? What is their relationship to you? What positive qualities did or does this person possess? How do you feel now when you eat this food? Write approximately 500 words and make sure to use spell check. When you have finished, copy your response and paste it into your food blog on the recipes page. Remember to begin with a great hook. Okay, so let's pretend that I wrote my assignment on this page and then I copied the text from this page. Of course, not the instructions, just what I wrote. I copied the text after I checked my spelling. Don't forget that you can click on tools and you can click on word count, and you can click on display word count, and then it will show you, actually that's not a good idea because that's going to count the words in the instructions, so don't do that, sorry. What you can do though is when you have written your text underneath, you can just highlight the text that you wrote and then click on Tools Word Count, and it will tell you how many words you have highlighted. So for instance, if I just highlight this paragraph and then I click Tools Word Count, it tells me there are 36 words. 36 words that I have highlighted, okay? So if you highlight just the words that you write down here, it will tell you how many words you have highlighted. So you want about 500, not including these words here. So then you'll copy it and you'll come back over to your food blog. And what you want to do is under Insert, you want to click on Collapsible Text. This will create a new section underneath, but turn off this button that says Collapsible. Just click that. That means that this text will not be hidden. You will always see it when you visit the web page. That's what you want. Oh, sorry guys, I'm not sharing this with you. Let me start that again. I'm just going to delete this and start that again because I wasn't sharing my screen. Okay, so come back here and you want to add a new section. So you want to click on Collapsible Text and then turn off this button here that says Collapsible, because if you keep it on, that means that this will disappear and you'll have to press a button to make it appear when you visit the website. But you want it to always be available. So make sure this is off. Then you can click here and you can paste your food memory that you've copied from your Google Doc. Okay, so you can paste it right here. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to actually grab all of this from my website over here, just so I have something, right? So I wrote this in Google Docs, so I'm pretending that I copied it from Google Docs. And then when I come back to this website, I can just paste my text here. Now, the reason it looks like nothing is because it's white, because the text is white. So I have to change the text color, obviously. There we go. So now we can read it. This is my food memory. And I want also to have a hook. So the very first sentence of my food memory should be written at the top here. And in the top box, you can see on this page here, it's going to be a bigger text. And that's nice because that really jumps out and catches the attention of the audience looking at your web page. So I'm just going to copy that for now. But you can just use the first sentence of your, again, it's white. The first sentence of your memory, okay, your food memory. There we go. All right. Now, we have one more section below, and the section that we're going to add below is for the recipe itself. So if you go back, sorry, here we go. I've added it here, okay? Here's my hook. Here's my text, and I need to add the recipe itself down here. So if we pop back over to this example blog, we can scroll down and see the recipe again. And we have two photos, and then we have two pieces of text underneath. So we need a layout that's something like that. Now, you can choose a different kind of layout if you want, but this is a nice way to do it because there are two parts of a recipe. There's ingredients and there's directions. You can add just one photo if you want, or you can put the photo in the background if you want, but you do need ingredients and directions. So I'll show you how to do that. All right, here we are down below. I'm going to look at the layout again. So these are my choices. And this is the layout I chose for this part here, okay? So I chose picture, picture, text, text underneath. So I'm writing a recipe for fried chicken, right? Now, this food memory here is about the brownies. So I just copied it and pasted it so you'll see some text here. But I have pretended that I'm writing a recipe about my dad's yummy fried chicken. So what I'm going to do is I need a picture of fried chicken. So here I'm going to actually put a picture of chicken, and here I'm going to put a picture of the finished recipe because I think that will be nice. But I don't have a photo of this recipe, so I'm going to search for one on Google Images. Just going to look for chicken. Okay, here's a nice picture of chicken before it's cooked. So we're going to use that. That's going to make some, actually, you know what? I'm going to use this one because fried chicken is usually like thighs and legs. So we have a nice picture here of chicken that's being cut up. So that shows that it's the ingredient. And then over here, I'm going to use a picture of the completed recipe. So I'm going to look for fried chicken. Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, so there's some nice pictures here. So here's a nice picture of some fried chicken. There we go. So now we have two sides, before and after, right? So this is just how I've decided to do it. If you want, you can actually even just delete this photo and you can just add one photo and make it bigger, and it can just be the photo of the finished recipe if you want. You can even add more photos. Like if you look over here, there are lots of different layouts to choose from. So it's really up to you how you do it. But I like this. So I'm going to click over here and I'm going to just type ingredients. And then over here, I'm going to type directions. And then under here, I'm going to list my ingredients. Now, I want to list them as a bullet point. So I have to click this bulleted list. That allows me to use bullet points. And right now it's centered, but if I want it on the left-hand side, which I think I do, then I can choose left align, which is this picture here. And that moves my cursor over to the left-hand side. So now I need a recipe because I don't actually have this recipe for my dad's fried chicken. But remember that I went online and I found this recipe online. Okay, so I still have this tab open. So I can just copy it. So 2 whole free-range organic chickens. I'm just going to write 2 whole chickens because I think that's easier. I come back here and I write 2 whole chickens. Whoops. And then I hit enter. And then I can come back here and see what the next ingredient is. It's vegetable oil for frying, 6 cups of flour, 5 tablespoons of salt. Okay, I think I can remember those 3. So vegetable oil for frying. I made a spelling mistake. Hit enter. 6 cups of flour. Forget what the next one was. Back. 5 tablespoons of salt. That's a lot of salt. 4 tablespoons of ground black pepper. 5. This is the short form for tablespoons. Capital TBS. 5 tablespoons of salt. 4 tablespoons ground black pepper. Okay. Go back. It says 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. So 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder, and 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, and it also says 2 cups of buttermilk. So 2, now the short form for teaspoon is small t, SP. 2 teaspoons of cayenne, 2 cups of buttermilk. those are all the ingredients. Okay, so I've listed my ingredients on the left, and then on the right-hand side, I can write my directions. What I suggest you do is you choose this numbered list here. And again, I want everything to be aligned on the left. And now I can write my instructions or my directions as steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a great way to do it. It makes it very easy to follow because you can remember what step you were on when you're following the recipe, right? So if you go back to your website, if you're taking it from a website, you can look here, they've done steps as well. So there are actually 11 steps. So it says cut the whole chickens into 4 breasts, 4 thighs. I'm actually going to just copy this and I'm going to paste it. Number 2, okay, so came back here and I just pasted it. Now number 2, I can go back here. And I can copy the second step. And then I can go back to my website and I can paste it. And then I can go back to this website and the third step, copied, and then go back to my website and I can paste it. So obviously I'm going to go through and finish this, but I am taking a recipe from another website. So I need to actually give some credit to that website. So at the bottom here, I'm going to just double click and then you'll see this wheel pop up and click this T for adding a text box. And then just write recipe taken from, and then you can come back to this website where you took it, copy the address at the top, the web address, just highlight it and click on Command C. Go back to your website and paste the website address here, okay? Recipe taken from, and then there's the recipe website where I took the recipe from, okay? That's a nice way to credit where you took the recipe from. So I can go ahead and I can copy and paste all those steps. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't think it's useful. But there's one last thing I want to show you that's really nice. So what we see here on this page is we see a nice banner background. We see a photograph of the place where I grew up with a nice caption underneath. We see the title of the recipe. And then we see the text. And the text includes a hook, which is the first sentence that jumps out at you. And then the rest of the food memory here. Lots of description of my dad and this experience with fried chicken. And then at the bottom, you will see ingredients on the left and directions for the recipe on the right. And at the very bottom, it says recipe taken from wherever. But if we look at the example website, you can see something different. And that is, I have all those elements, but the background here is a different color. The background here is a different color. It's light gray. Background here is dark gray, and the background here is white. So these actually stand out. Actually, the background here is also light gray, and this is white at the bottom. So you can see the sections are different, and it's easier to read, I think. So if you want to make your sections different shades of gray, all you have to do is on the left-hand side over here, if you click Section Background, you will see you have some options, okay? Your options are white, which is what it is now, or emphasis 1, which will make it light gray, or emphasis 2, which will make it dark gray, and it will change your text to white so it stands out. The other option is you can add an image, but I'm not going to do that here because I already have an image and I don't want it to be confusing. So I think for this section, I actually want it to be light gray. Then for this section of the writing, I can, again, on the left-hand side, click Section Background, and I can make it dark if I want. Now, this text has been, I changed it to black, but I can change it again by highlighting it. I can make it any color I like. I can make it pink if I want. I can make all of the text here. Maybe I want to make it a light blue color. It's easy to read on the dark background. It's really up to you what colors you use on your website. You can also, of course, you can change the text, right? So here we have this font. I have all kinds of fonts. I can make it like look like this if I want, right? But just make sure whatever font you choose, it's big enough to read and the font itself is easy to read. This font is not very easy to read, but if I make it bigger, then now it's easier to read. And I can even make it, I can move this up a little bit. Okay. So this is really up to you what you want it to look like, but I think you should probably try and keep the same font all the way through so that your website looks the same all the way through. Okay, so I was using this and I think it was 29, so I'm just gonna make it 30. There we go. So you'll notice that when I click on the other pages, all of the headings are the same, right? And all of the text should be the same font. So make sure that your font is the same on every page so it looks good. But the other thing you can do is you can add an image to the background. If you don't want to make it gray, a shade of gray, you can add an image. So what you can do is click image down here, select image, and then you have some choices. In the gallery, there are some nice, pretty plain designs. So maybe I want this to just have a like a design like this. This is a photo, but it's out of focus. So you can see that the text is not as easy to read now because of the color. So I could change that to a darker text again if I want to. But it's added a little bit of interest to this page because I've given it a background, right? You can also add a photo. Sorry, I can go, whoops, image, select image, and you can grab a photo from Google. So I could write, I don't know, trees. If I'm talking about where I grew up and I want a photo of trees in the background, let's say I want this photo. So instead of having just a color in the background, I have this interesting photo in the background. But again, if you do use a photo, make sure that you change your text so that the text is easy to read. This text is not easy to read. So I need to highlight all of it and I need to change the color of it. I'm going to make it black. Now it's easy to read, right? I might want to change the color of this to a darker color because my photo is light. I'm going to choose this dark red. There we go. Now it's easy to read, okay? So this is how you make your website. That's it. Now, when you come to a stage where you feel like you have finished, before you publish it, because right now it's not on the web. Right now it's still just being edited. You have to publish it before you turn it into me so I can mark it. Otherwise, I won't be able to see it and it won't be on the internet. So you have to put it on the internet. But before you do that, you want to see what other people will see when they visit your website. So you want to preview it. So when you're finished, come up here where it says preview and click this button. And now you will see what people will see when they visit your website. So here is the first page. Here is the About Me page. Now, here's where I'm going to notice that I forgot to add a photo of myself. So if I want to make a change, I can just click this X at the bottom right here, and it will take me right back to my editing page where I can edit. You can also find this in your Google Drive, right? If you go into Google Drive, as long as you're signed into your account, you're going to be able to find this in your Google Drive account. Just make sure you're signed into your school account before you start making your website, and all of this will get saved in your Google account, okay, in your Google Drive. So again, in preview, you can see what it's going to look like, and this is a computer, what it'll look like on a computer. And then when you go to the recipes page, it will show you what the recipes page will look like when somebody opens up your website, okay? So here I'll notice, oh, I forgot to finish writing the directions, so then I can click X, and I can go back and I can see where I can make those changes on this page. So when you're happy, when it's finished, then you should go here to publish. This is the very last step, guys, okay? So click publish, and I'm gonna write the word demo 1. You don't need to write anything there. And here where it says, who can view my site, click manage. And then it says links vary, change. Click change. And then when you click this button beside the word TDSB, choose public. Okay. Now it says anyone on the internet can find and open. Then click done. So make sure before you click publish here that it says who can view my site. It should say anyone. That's what you want. Now, if you want to make it so that Google search doesn't show your website to someone searching for, like, say someone searches for fried chicken, Google might find the words fried chicken on my blog, but if I don't want Google to show my blog to people who are searching, I can just click this button here to make it a little more private. But it doesn't matter. It's up to you what you want to do. As long as it says anyone can view it, that's what you want. And then click publish. And it says your site has been published successfully. So now I know my website is on the internet, but I have to show this link to my teacher, to me, so I can mark it, okay? So here's what you'll do. Right at the top, you see it says, there's a little link here. It says copy published site link. Make sure you're on the home page first. So go to the home page and then click on this copy published site link. Click on copy link. And this is going to save a link of your website for you that you can paste onto Google Classroom so that I can see it, okay? So at this point, you're going to come back to Google Classroom because you need to hand in your work. You'll come back to the assignment here, your food blog, view assignment. And now at the bottom here on this assignment, you know, it's hard for me to show you here because we're not on the student view. Let me just choose a classroom where I'm a student. Give me a second here. Then I can show you how you can do this. This is a class where I'm a student. I'm going to click on classwork. I just need to find an assignment so I can show you what this looks like. So on any assignment, so this is like you're looking at the food blog, right? You'll click on the view assignment, and up here you'll see your work missing. Oh shoot, this is archived. I can't add it. Let me just tell you what it'll look like. Up here, you'll see your work. And there won't be anything there, but there will be a button that says add or create, okay? When you click on add or create, you'll see the word link. You want to click on the word link because that will allow you to add a link. So you're going to hand in a link, and that's the link to your website. Let me see if I can find one example of this, guys. Sorry. All my classes are archived, so I can't show you. Maybe I can show you here. No, this is the, okay, I can't show you. But when you're, just so you know, just think of it this way. When you're in that assignment, I can't show you because you guys are, oh, you know what I can do? I just had an idea. Who can share their screen with us right now? This will be a good thing to do. Who can share their screen? Okay, good. Mark, thank you. You know how to do that. Okay, so click on present, please. And then take us to Google Classroom and take us to that assignment I just posted called Your Food Blog.
Am I presenting it now?
Yep, you are.
Okay, then
So you want to go to Your Food Blog.
food lab. This one?
Yep. And then see on the top right corner, everybody, where it says Your Work. If you click on Add or Create, go ahead. Then click Link. Yep. Then you can paste that link that you copied from your website. So you'll just click Control P or Command P, or sorry, Control V or Command V, and it will paste the link that you copied from your blog. And then you can click Cancel there, Mark. When it's added, you'll see a button that comes up that says Hand In. As soon as you add something there, that green button that says Mark as Done, it will change. It will turn into a green button that says Hand In. Okay. Maybe Mark, you can just pretend you can grab any kind of URL, maybe even the one on the page you're on now.
Okay.
Just copy the URL for us and show us what that looks like. And paste it there. Good. Add link. So Mark is adding a link. There we go. So he's added the link. And then you see that button says Turn In. If he clicks on that button, he's handing in his website to me. So as soon as he clicks on Turn In, that green button will turn into a button that says Unsubmit, just like all of your other assignments, okay? So if you see it says Unsubmit, don't do anything. That's good. That means I have your website. And that's it. Then you will have completed the assignment. So yeah, you can just click the X there, Mark, and that will detach that link and you're good to go there. Thanks, Mark. You can stop presenting now.
Okay.
So that's the end of this demo. Are there any quick questions